Blessed One, Shakyamuni Buddha.
warm day, but I think it's not too bad in here. Got water at the back, so if anyone's about to faint or expire, put your hand up, and I'll come and find you. I'll bring you a glass of water. Bones off. Okay. And now we're doing 3 sessions before, in this half day. So they're short and sweet. Not too much talking, meditation, that's what we come here for, don't we? So that's what we'll be doing. 45-minute sessions of starting from now to 10:45, 30-minute break, and then the second break, do another 45 minutes retreat, and then a second break we'll be doing brunch, croissant. Steady on. Croissant.
Morning, everyone. Yeah. Welcome to our little retreat. Yeah, that's working. Yeah, it's working. Speak up. Hello, hello, hello. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, sounds. So yeah, good morning everyone. Has anyone not been before? Loads of yous, man. Sound. Okay, cool. I'll briefly explain the format. We're going to do 3 sessions. Quite short sessions, so I'm going to try and not talk so much. I think is this clock wrong? Is it 6 minutes past 10 already?
Yeah, that is wrong. 2 minutes past.
2 minutes past, okay, well, that sounds. So we're going to do 3 sessions doing 3 different meditations, okay? And I'll do a very short commentary, okay? So what we'll do is we'll start every session with a breathing meditation, okay? So in this meditation, all we're going to do is we're just focusing on the sensation of air there. That's it. Okay? Sounds simple, but as you'll see, your mind will wander off. And you'll be elsewhere doing your shopping in Tesco's or whatever, Just as soon as you realise, just bring your mind back. Okay, that's it. Simple. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna talk about inner peace, and then we're gonna do another meditation. So we'll do 3 sessions, and in the second session we're gonna have croissants. Amazing, man. So I better get a shift on so we can get to the croissants, man. Hey, no apologies, get up with it. Hey, no worries, come on. Hey, we're all good. Hey, loads of people. I was just going to say that the 86 must have arrived or something. You're very welcome, folks. Okay, so if we're going to do a short meditation, then we'll say a short prayer. Okay, so if we get a nice, comfortable position, keep our back straight. So you can put your hands on your lap or your right palm in your left. And just gently close your eyes. We can just turn our attention to our breathing. So just simply follow the flow of air at the tip of your nose. Feel the sensation of cool air as you breathe in. Slightly warmer air as you breathe out. And resist any distracting thoughts. at the last minute. Really trying. Resist distractions and stay focused on your breath. So now we can engage in the chanted meditation and liberating prayer.
O Blessed One, Shakyamuni Buddha, precious treasury of compassion, bestower of supreme inner peace, you who love all beings without exception, are the source of happiness and goodness, and you guide us to the liberating path. Your body is a wish-fulfilling jewel. Your speech is supreme purifying nectar, and your mind is refuge for all living beings. With folded hands I turn to you, supreme unchanging friend. I request from the depths of my heart, please give me the light of your wisdom to dispel the darkness of my mind, and to heal my mental continuum. Please nourish me with your goodness, that I in turn may nourish all beings with an unceasing banquet of delight. Through your compassionate intention, your blessings and virtuous deeds, and my strong wish to rely upon you, may all suffering quickly cease, and all happiness and joy be fulfilled, and may holy Dharma flourish forevermore.
So, you know, I know, like, if you've just come here for the first time or you're new to this or whatever, you know, like, you don't have to be a Buddhist to come here, you know, and practice meditation. You don't have to be spiritual even, you know. You just got to want to find happiness, basically, you know, because, like, that's what we all want, innit? We just want to find some happiness, some contentment in our life, and not have problems and suffering. That's all we want. You know, that's all every living being wants. You know, since Gester talks about this in the very page 3 in this book, How to Transform Your Life, which you can download for free from our little cards out there. You know, Gester says, you know, since the birth of humanity, really, you know, we've been trying to search for happiness by improving our external conditions. You know, we're trying to find answers to our problems by improving our external conditions. Now, I seen on Facebook the other day, it was 66 years between our first flight with the Wright brothers and landing on the moon. Like, that's incredible, isn't it? 66 years. Like, we have technologically exploded, you know? Like, it's incredible what we can do now, isn't it? Our health. Like, years ago, you used to die of a abscess on your tooth. You die now, we've got antibiotics. Do you know? Like, you know, our material and technological improvement has exploded, but there hasn't been a corresponding explosion in human happiness. We are no nearer finding solutions to our problems. But you could say things are getting worse, really. Isn't it? You know, there hasn't been an explosion in happiness, but there has been an explosion in anxiety in recent years. There has been an explosion in the extinction of species. You know, we're in the 6th great mass extinction caused by us at the moment. You know, there's an explosion in greenhouse gases. There's an explosion in, you know, inequality in the world. So, you know, we don't see any, even though, if you reject most, if not all, of our efforts to make us happy and avoid problems, but it's not working. We're not getting any closer to it. Why? Buddha says because we're using the wrong methods. You know, we're using the wrong methods. We are trying to search for happiness in the external world where it cannot be found. Buddha says this happiness and the solution to our problems lie within. It's an inside job, you know. Happiness is a state of mind. Suffering, problems, worries, anxieties, states of mind. So it's inside in our minds. That's where we need to be working. You know, when we search for happiness outside and we maybe get a new possession, a new partner, we find a piece of cheesecake in the fridge, whatever it is, get a new car, get a new job, get some likes on Facebook or for a post. We do get a little blip of like, ooh, it doesn't last. It's not real. It's not real happiness. It's just a little blip. That fades as soon as you've had the piece of cheesecake. Do you know? Now you feel a bit sick now. You know? It's not happiness. It's what Buddha says. It's not real happiness. So, what is real happiness? Buddha says it's changing our mind. Happiness comes from inner peace and contentment. So how do we get that? Change our mind from negative to positive. Simple. We work on changing our mind, changing our thoughts, changing our intentions. From negative to positive, abandoning minds like anger, you know, minds like intolerance, like jealousy, like craving, you know, and work on minds, developing minds of love, compassion, things like that, gratitude, kindness, things like that, you know. So this is where meditation works. This is how meditation works, because meditation familiarises our mind, acquaints our mind with virtue, with positive states of mind, you know, and it eliminates negative states of mind. So this is how, like, the way to be happy is to look inwards and meditate. This is what Buddha's saying. No, and I think it's quite clear because we're putting all our effort in, and it's not working. Clearly, it's not working. You know. So, like, if our mind is at peace, we're good with whatever's happening. You know. If our mind is unpeaceful, we're not good, even if our conditions are amazing. Like, we could be living in a palace. We could be living in a palace and be up the wall, be filled with anxiety. You know, we could be sitting in our Ferrari with our head in our hands, depressed, anxious. You know, I knew a guy who really was very successful, very financially successful, had a good standard of living, a good job, status. He was good with the chicks as well, man. He had, you know, he had the patter. He definitely had the patter, and he took his own life. You know, so externally he looked like he has everything. But what determines the quality of our life is not how many Facebook likes we have, how big our car is, how much money we have in the bank. It's our state of mind. Yeah, that's what determines the quality of our life. So that's what we need to work on, clearly. Yeah. You know, external conditions are just secondary, really. You know. The mind is primary. That's what we need to work on. So through meditation, you know, we can develop deeper and deeper feelings of peace, of inner peace, of positive states of mind. And when our mind is filled with positive states of mind, and we have peace in our heart, happiness naturally arises. This is what Buddha says. Yeah, happiness, you know, and it's a happiness that isn't dependent upon out there. Do you know? So if our football team wins, our football team loses, it's fine. You know, I need to develop this. I'm an Everton fan. I really need to work on this, teaching myself, like. Good to know there's some hope, though, isn't it? Because we haven't got any hope of winning, so you just got to change my mind about it. Buddha's amazing, man. He comes up with an answer for everything. Buddha, man, he's got an answer for everything. So we're going to do some meditation because, like, I know that meditation at the beginning was very short. You know, so hopefully we get more of an experience. You know, hopefully at the end of this meditation, we'll have a feeling, like a calm feeling. Like, now, if I said that's happiness, you wouldn't think that was happiness, would you? You'd think, no, happiness is like a piece of cheesecake I just found in the fridge, you know, that's not happiness. But it is. That feeling of peace, that's what we need to work on and cultivate, you know. And that will turn into give rise to happiness, you know. I just want to read something very briefly. So we're going to do a meditation. We've got to be quick, really, because the session's quite short. So I've got to shut up and do some meditation. So Geshe says on page 8, we can see from this that if we want true lasting happiness, we need to develop and maintain a special experience of inner peace. The only way to do this is to train our mind through spiritual practice, gradually reducing and eliminating our negative, disturbed states of mind and replacing them with positive, peaceful states. Eventually, through continuing to improve our inner peace, we will experience supreme inner peace of mind, or nirvana. Once we have attained nirvana, we will be happy throughout our life and in life after life. We will have solved all our problems and accomplished the true meaning of our human life. So it's amazing, isn't it? You know, we can think in life, we've got loads of problems, man. Me money and me this and me that, me relationships, me whatever, you know. We haven't got one problem. That's our uncontrolled mind. That's it. We just need to work on that, and everything else will flow. Everything else will flow from that. It's beautiful, isn't it? finally, yeah, we'll do some meditation now, and I will shut up, honestly. You know, Gester says, it's like, he says when you put a bit of sugar in tea, it sweetens the whole drink. It's same with this, you know. We start to develop a little bit of inner peace. Maybe try this breathing meditation. You know, Gester says if we try it for like 15 minutes a day, do it in the morning, maybe, when you get up. Do a breathing meditation before you start your day, if you can. You know, we can develop a little bit of inner peace and contentment. That'll sweeten our whole life. That'll improve how we are in work, how we react with our children, with our partners, how we view our life. You know, it'll sweeten our whole life. You know. Okay, so we're going to just do that breathing meditation again and try and develop a calm, peaceful feeling. Okay, so we're going to do this for 20 minutes now. Okay, so we get into our meditation posture. Into a nice comfortable position. Just let any stress and tension just fall away. So we can begin this meditation by generating a wish to use the meditation to develop our good qualities, which will benefit both ourselves and others. So hold this wish for a moment. So we can turn our attention inwards. Start to become aware of your breath and the sensation of air at the tip of your nose. We're just simply following that sensation. Cool air as we breathe in. Slightly warmer air as we breathe out. And try to resist any distracting thoughts. Just keep your focus on your breath. Resist any distractions. The last couple of minutes, really try and maintain your awareness on your breath. The sensation of air at the tip of your nose. Before we bring our meditation to a close, we can recall the wish we used at the beginning to use this meditation to develop our good qualities, to benefit both ourselves and others. So we can dedicate any positive energy we've created in our mind today to this end. Okay, we can bring our meditation to a close and in our own time open our eyes. Okay, thanks everyone. So, this meditation is described in this book, How to Transform Your Life, that you can download for nothing. Just want to see if I can find it. Kester describes it, you know. In the back he says, even though breathing meditation is only a preliminary stage of meditation, it can be quite powerful. We can see from this practice that it is possible to experience inner peace and contentment just by controlling the mind, without having to depend at all upon external conditions. When the turbulence of distracting thoughts subsides and our mind becomes still, a deep happiness and contentment naturally arise from within. This feeling of contentment and well-being helps us to cope with the busyness and difficulties of daily life. So much of the stress and tension we normally experience comes from our mind, and many of the problems we experience, including ill health, are caused or aggravated by this stress. Just by doing breathing meditation for 10 or 15 minutes each day, we will be able to reduce this stress. We will experience a calm, spacious feeling in the mind, and many of our usual problems will fall away. Difficult situations will become easier to deal with, and we will naturally feel warm and well disposed towards other people, and our relationships with others will gradually improve. So, 10 or 15 minutes a day. We've all got 10 or 15 minutes a day, haven't we? Okay, so we're going to have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, and then we'll start again in half an hour. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, okay, so I'll see you in a bit. Cheers, guys. You good? You good, yeah? Good. You good, yeah? So Donna's playing Space Invaders at the back. Bored of this, I'm Invaders at the back. Bored of this, I'm want to see if we can get to the next level. Want to see if we can get to the next level.
You're good.
We good, yeah?
You're online.
Sweet.
You're good.
We good, yeah?
You're online.
Sweet.
You're online.
Sweet. Go ahead then. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed your coffee, or tea, whatever. We'll just start again, same as we did then. Just breathe, or tea, whatever. We'll just start again, same as we did then. Just breathe the meditation, okay? Breathe the meditation, okay? Just we can sit up straight, keep our back straight but nice and relaxed. Turn our attention to our breath. Turn our attention to our breath. Simply follow the flow of air at the tip of Simply follow the flow of air at the tip of the nose. Sensation of cool air as we breathe in. Sensation of cool air as we breathe in. Slightly warmer air as we breathe out. Last minute, really try and maintain your focus on your breath. Now we can engage in the chanted meditation, the brain prayer.
endless treasury of compassion, bestower of supreme inner beings, you love all beings without exception, are the source of happiness and goodness, and you guide us to the liberating path. Your body is a wish-fulfilling jewel. Your speech is supreme purifying nectar, and your mind is refuge for all living beings. With folded hands I turn to you, supreme unchanging friend. I request from the depths of my heart, please give me the light of your wisdom to dispel the darkness of my mind, and to heal my mental continuum. Please nourish me with your goodness, that I in turn may nourish all beings. Unceasing banquet of delight, through your compassionate intention, your blessings and virtuous deeds, and my strong wish rely upon you. May your weekly cease, and your happiness and joy be fulfilled, and may holy Dharma flourish forevermore.
Now, when we're doing a meditation, when we're meditating, if you're new to meditation, you know, what we're trying to do is we're not emptying our mind, we're focusing our minds on something, you know, on a positive, something that's going to lead to happiness, you know. So, in this next meditation, what we're going to do is we're learning to focus on positive feelings, and we're trying to let go of negative feelings in the mind, yeah. So what we're going to do, it's in this meditation, we're going to start by imagining all our negative minds, negative intentions, problems, worries, stress, ill health, everything in the form of black smoke at our heart. This is our spiritual heart in the centre of our chest. And we're going to spend some time breathing it out, breathing out our problems, and watching it getting dispersed on the winds and disappearing, gone forever. And then when we've breathed out all our exhales, all our negativity, then we'll breathe in positivity in the form of brilliant white light until we're full to the brim of pure positive energy, and then we'll just abide in it for a bit. So, I know what you're probably thinking. It's possible to breathe out, because we can take some money worries and breathe the meditations. When you open your eyes, your gas bill's still on the table. So how's it possible to breathe out your problems, you know? Because our problems are states of mind. Our problems don't exist outside the mind. This is what Buddha says. You know, like, we used to have a guy come to one of my classes, and he was always like shouting at his kid, shouting at his kids, shouting at his son particularly, because he'd leave his trainers on the stairs, or he'd leave a wet towel on the bathroom floor, or, you know, these problems that, you know, teenagers arise, you know. And then he started coming to classes, and he started realising, actually, the problem isn't the fact that you know, if we change how we view it, so like we're not causing people to disappear. Yeah, that's how other stuff, and it needs to come from that. You can't do that. But what we can change is our that's what we're called, that's what changing. Yeah. So, you know, like, you know, negative feelings like anger, jealousy, you know, frustration, worry, anxiety, stress, you know, intolerance. Like, these are something that we all experience from time to time. You know, aren't they? They blight us, really, you know. And, you know, sometimes they overwhelm us, these feelings, you know. They can, like, we stay with them. So it's Eve's my friend. Told Tori how her husband phoned her and said, "What time are you home, love? I'll make tea." And she loves spaghetti bolognese. I'll make spaghetti bolognese. So when she got home, what he'd done is, to cook it quicker, she was due, you know, he snapped the spaghetti up and said, "You're crap. You're useless." Do you know? So the minds of anger, it skews us. It's like putting, you know, we say rose-tinted glasses. You know, if we're angry, there's annoying people everywhere. There's annoying situations everywhere. You know, all minds are craving. You know, this is you know, you and also I feel lacking. My life is lacking. You know, or a car, or this, or that, or the other. You know. So, through meditation, through contemplating, thinking about it, looking inwardly, because we don't see that more. Since we see that get off your thoughts are arising, you know, because then we can start to understand our feelings. Usually we're running away from our feelings, uncomfortable feelings. You were trying to drown it out with wine or cheesecake or a box set or whatever, you know. We don't get to the root of what it is. That's what we need to start doing. This is what meditation can do, you know. So we can learn to, like, start to understand our feelings and where they're coming from, you know, and why we have them, and what we can do about them, you know. Put some countermeasures in place so we can start to challenge these negative thoughts, negative conceptions that arise, yeah, and replace them with positive, more realistic conceptions, you know. Because the world we experience is a reflection of our mind, you know, simple as. The world doesn't exist like, yeah, you know, out there. The world is projected from our mind, reflected from our mind. As I say, if we're a jealous person, we see threats everywhere. If we're an angry person, we see annoying things everywhere, you know. Whereas if we can start to let go of that, kind of these habitual, it's just habits, that's all it is. You know, when we think in a certain way, it becomes easier to think in that way again, and again, and again, and again. That becomes our way, isn't it? You know, you've heard the saying, neurons that fire together, wire together. That, you know, not Buddhist thing, that's a psychology thing, but, you know, we think in a certain way, that we keep doing that becomes our habit. So it's all it is a habit, you know, that we can change. The world isn't full of annoying people. You know, if we can start to develop minds, say, like of love, of patience, of gratitude, you know, we'll see friends everywhere, not enemies. We'll see things to be grateful for, you know, not things that we're lacking. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so, and we'll inhabit a world, yeah, filled with love, filled with friends, you know. So we better shut up and let's get on with the meditation, really. They're very short sessions, aren't they? Okay, so we get into our meditation posture. Hold this wish for a minute in our heart. In the center of our chest, at our heart chakra. And imagine with every exhalation, every time we breathe out, we breathe out this smoke. Breathe out all our negativity. And it gets dispersed on the wind and disappears, never to return. So So just spend a few minutes breathing out your negativity. Continue to breathe out all your negativity. This ball of smoke at our heart gets smaller and smaller with every breath. With every exhalation, a bit more of it is dissipated on the wind. It disappears, never to return. until eventually you can imagine that we've breathed out all our negativity, all our misfortune, all our problems and worries and ill health. Strongly believe that this has happened and you're free. Now we can imagine with every inhalation we breathe in pure positive energy in the form of brilliant white light, which starts to fill us up from the tips of our toes to the crown of our head. Just continue to breathe in this pure, positive energy in the form of brilliant white light. Continue to breathe in this pure positive energy until eventually we're filled overflowing. With pure positive energy in the form of brilliant white light. We feel blissful, so light we could almost levitate. So just abide in this state for the rest of the meditation. breathed out all our problems. And we're filled with happiness and bliss. Strongly believe this has happened for the rest of the meditation. Before we bring our meditation to a close, we can remember our wish to use this meditation to benefit both ourselves and others. So we can dedicate any positive energy to this end. And in the meditation break, try and take this feeling, this recognition with us, that we're filled with pure, positive, inspirational energy. Try and keep it with us in our heart, so it positively affects everything we think, everything we say, and everything we do. Okay, thanks very much everyone. We can bring our meditation to a close and open our eyes in our own time. So, these meditations, you know, you come from, like, well, it used to be a CD, didn't it? But it's all download now, isn't it? Meditations for Relaxation, it's called. So our publisher, Tarpa, I think we might say, well, we've got any in the shop of these downloads. Or, you know, ask us, because you can download them, and they're about 15 minutes each, and there's like a lovely woman with a lovely voice who guides it. So you can just stick it on your headphones and do this meditation. Do all the 3 meditations we're going to do. Okay, sound. So, we're going to have a 3/4 of an hour break now, because we've got some croissants, man. It's like, do you want to come to the centre on Saturday? I don't know. They're doing inner peace. I'm not really bothered about inner peace. Let me learn to love others. Love's overrated. We're doing croissants. Go ahead, I'm in. I'll go. So, yeah, I'll see you in 3/4 of an hour, guys. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
And he comes to me crown and he dissolves into me, because so he's doing the teaching. So when this person sitting on the throne, you regard them as Buddha, you know. So yeah, it's through me, not from me, you know. Like, I've got absolutely nothing of any interest to say. I haven't, you know. I haven't.
Why do we all do this then?
Because we're showing respect to Buddha, do you know? Because Buddha's got the power, so we're looking at it in this session actually, to cure us from all our problems, do you know? He's an enlightened being, so, you know, I'm kind of prostrating to Buddha. I imagine him coming into me, and we're all and then you imagine, you know, yeah, so that's why we do it, yeah.
Imagine you now as the bald in Buddha now.
Yeah, well, I've got the haircut.
And I've got your tummy as well.
I've got the tummy as well, I'm getting it. You know. Yeah. Yeah, free rubs outside if you want that after the class. This is taking the direction I never thought we'd go in. Right, enough of frivolity. Let's do some meditation. Okay, so we'll start off same format. We'll start off with a bit of a breathing meditation. Okay, so we can just let all our stress and tension dissolve. Turn our attention to our breath. last minute. Really try and stay focused on your breath. We can engage in the chanted meditation of the brain prayer. Okay, we can bring our meditation to a close and open our eyes. Where was me liberating prayer, man? Come on then.
O Blessed One, Shakyamuni Buddha, precious treasury of compassion, bestower of supreme inner peace, you who love all beings without exception, are the source of happiness and goodness, and you guide us to the liberating path. Your body is a wish-fulfilling jewel. Your speech is supreme purifying nectar, and your mind is refuge for all living beings. With folded hands I turn to you, supreme unchanging friend. I request from the depths of my heart, please give me the light of your wisdom to dispel the darkness of my mind, and to heal my mental continuum. Please nourish me with your goodness, that I in turn may nourish all beings with an unceasing banquet of delight. Through your compassionate intention, your blessings and virtuous deeds, and my strong wish to rely upon you, may all suffering quickly cease, and all happiness and joy be fulfilled, and may flourish forevermore.
Okay, thanks everyone. So, in the first session we looked at like how happiness comes from inner peace. Briefly. In the second session we looked at how inner peace comes from transforming our mind from negative to positive. So in this session we're looking at a method to do that through combining our breath with the mantra, basically. Yeah. So I'll explain the meditation. So what we're going to do is we're going to combine our breath, conjoin our breath with a mantra. So the mantra is Om Or Hum, which is the essence of all mantras. Okay. So what we're going to do is when we inhale, we just mentally say to us, recite to ourselves, say to ourselves Om, which is the body of all Buddhas. Then we hold it at our heart very briefly. So we breathe in, Om, hold it, say Ah to ourselves, which is the speech of all the Buddhas. And then when we exhale, we say Ah, Om, Ah, Hum. So it's Om, hold, Ah, breathe out, Hum. That's it. Okay. So we're not holding our breath for ages. It's just Om, Ah, Hum, Om, Ah, Hum. Okay. So, by the breathing purpose of the breathing meditation, it's like a preliminary meditation to calm our minds. But when we reduce our distractions, but when we combine it with a mantra, it becomes really powerful. Got many benefits, So, it calms our mind down. It causes our distractions to subside. It helps us to develop and to ripen our good heart, our kind heart. It ripens our Buddha seed, so our potential to become enlightened ourselves. And it helps us to get control of our mind. Gessler says, it'll help us, like our mind will become like a well-trained horse, goes wherever the rider wants. So at the moment, does our mind feel like a well-trained horse? Or is it like a buck and bronco sometimes? Is our mind, do we get kidnapped by our mind? And taken to, we don't want to be angry, or we don't want to be jealous, or don't want to be anxious or worried. Can't help it. It just took me there. Nothing I can do about it. So we can start to get control. So it does what we say, not the other way around. Yeah. And then this meditation helps to purify. So it helps to purify our mind. So mantra, you might have heard the term mantra, It's a Sanskrit word. It means mind protection. And there's like different Buddhas. There's many mantras, So like, there's many. So this like Buddha Avalokiteshvara is the Buddha of compassion. His mantra is Om Mani Padme Hum. So every Buddha has like a mantra, basically, and they all kind of mean the same thing. It's like saying, praise to their good qualities and saying, please help me become just like you. They all mean the same, similar, about the same thing, really, So, like Buddhas, a Buddha can appear as anything. So Buddha's is omniscient. Buddha's mind's omniscient. He can appear as anything, including sound. So a mantra is like Buddha in sound, if we will, And the Om Or Hum mantra is the essence of all the mantras of all enlightened beings, because they've all got their own one. But Om Or Hum is the essence of all of them, basically, Also, all the mantra of all enlightened beings are contained within this mantra, basically, So you can categorize like all the different Buddhas into 3 groups, if you will. Like Vajra, which means immutable, unchangeable, powerful. Vajra body, Vajra speech, and Vajra mind. So if we recite this mantra with our breath and recite this mantra with faith, we're receiving blessings on our body, our speech, and our mind. On our physical, on our verbal and on our mental. You know? And we'll receive blessings of all the Buddhas. So, you know, what is a Buddha? Buddha means awakened. Yeah. So Buddha has just freed his mind from all faults and limitations, basically, you know. So Buddha was just a person like us who realised what minds lead to happiness, what minds lead to unhappiness, where his suffering is coming from, and how to get out of that. You know, and he perfected his mind, and he abandoned all negativity. You know, so it's like it's the best version of a human being can be, can attain, can achieve. So, and he woke up from this sleep of ignorance, these delusions that we all suffer from at the moment. So, you know, a Buddha is free from all faults and limitations, basically, you know, and who's perfected all good qualities. So I say, yeah, when we're saying like Buddha's body, speech and mind, so we're meaning like our physical actions, you know, our physical actions, our verbal actions, our mental actions and intentions, you know. So this is what we're trying to purify, because if we look at the difference between, say like our physical actions that we do and a Buddha's physical actions, like we can like steal, can't we? We can hurt others, we can have affairs and, you know, ruin relationships and practice sexual misconduct, we can kill living beings, see a spider, we can physically squish it, you know. We do terrible things with our body, with our physical, you know. Whereas, you know, we can see, you know, a Buddha with his physical form, Buddhas can emanate as anything. Like Buddhist centers, like spiritual guides, like Geshe, you know, like whatever living beings need, whatever's beneficial, Buddhas can emanate. Yeah. So the difference between our physical form is huge, isn't it? But like our verbal.
Is it Buddhist spiritual as well, or is it just positivity?
I don't understand the question, sorry.
So are Buddhists into spirituality?
We'd have to talk about that later, right? Because I don't know what you mean by spirituality, really, as well. Well, yeah. I suppose if you're into abandoning negativity and cultivating positivity, that's spirituality, I suppose. Isn't it? Would that be classed as spirituality? So yeah, he's the king of it. yeah. Ultimate, yeah, basically. Yeah, so the difference between, if we look at like our speech, what we can do with our speech, we can lie, we can deceive, we can, you know, cause disharmony, we can gossip, you know. We can use like our words as gifts, can't we? But we can use our words as weapons as well, do you know, to really try and hurt people. Whereas a Buddha's speech, do you know, Buddha's speech has got the power to free us from all our suffering. You know, all, like Geshe's written 23 books out, you know, that's Buddha's speech, you know. It's nectar for us, like, you know, but like Geshe is, these teachings have come directly from Buddha, you know, in an unbroken lineage, you know. So Geshe got it from his teacher, who got it from his teacher, all the way back, and trace it all the way back to Buddha, to his speech, you know. And then the difference in our mind compared to a Buddha's mind, do you know? Like, our mind's uncontrolled, isn't it? You know, our mind is led by delusion. Do you know, we can, like I say, we can be kidnapped, can't we, by our mind? Or we can be like the guy who, in the Liverpool parade, who ran into all the people, like a moment of anger. I could have killed people, ruined his life, just through a moment of anger. Because our mind is, at the moment, our mind is totally uncontrolled, really. Whereas a Buddha, you know, Buddha's mind is omniscient. He's reached the peak of development that you can attain, you know. Like, Buddha was in the forest one day with his disciples, you know, and he picked up a handful of leaves, and he said, "This is what I've taught you. whereas all the leaves in the forest is what I actually know. You know, it's called the path of no more learning. Enlightenment is the path of no more learning. All objects of knowledge are known. You know, Buddha's mind pervades space, pervades everywhere. You know, so look at the difference between our mind and Buddha's mind. Do you know what I mean? You know, so by doing this meditation, you know, we're not asking Buddha for help. We're asking to become him, to become an enlightened being ourselves. So that's what this meditation will help us with. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. So, because we had a little chat at the beginning, and it's only short sessions, we might run a little bit over, 5 minutes over. Is everyone all right with that? 5 or 10 minutes over. Okay, so we get a nice kind of. So, yeah. So what we're going to do, as I say, we're going to inhale and say the words, you know, Om. Hold it at our heart. Say it Ah, and then exhale. Okay, and say Hum. Okay. So we'll just get into our meditation posture. Okay, so we can begin by developing a good intention. Generating a wish to use this meditation to develop our good qualities. Not just to benefit ourselves, but to benefit every living being. So we can begin by just focusing on our breath, so we can just adjust the rhythm. So we can inhale and then briefly hold our breath at our heart, and then exhale. Inhale, hold at our heart, and exhale. So spend a couple of minutes doing that. So now, as you breathe in, mentally recite the mantra Om, and imagine that this pure mantra energy mixes with your breath and dissolves away all the impurities of your body, so that your body becomes completely pure. As you hold your breath at your heart, mentally recite Ah, and imagine that the energy of the mantra, which is the nature of the enlightened speech of all the Buddhas, mixes with your breath. Imagine this pure mantra energy dissolves away all the impurities of your speech, and your speech becomes completely pure. And as you exhale, you recite Hum. Imagine this pure mantra energy. It mixes with your breath and dissolves away all the impurities of your mind. So your mind becomes completely pure. So just continue in this way mixing the breath with the mantra Om, Ah, Hum. Om, Ah, Hum. Continue to follow and mix your breath with mantra. Om as you inhale. Ah as you hold. Om as you exhale. Om. Ah. Om. for the last few minutes. Really try and avoid, resist any distractions. Be totally immersed in mixing your mind with the mantra, Om.